Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday morning, so we
Good
have
morning.
good morning. Thank you for that. We have another
I have a question. Can you can you see me when I'm doing my exercises?
for the most part,
I mean,
yeah.
can you see me doing them? Okay.
Um
I only say it because if I'm doing it right wrong, I wanted to know, but I can't tell if you can see me.
yeah. Well, I
But
can see you now and I can often see you at various points. There's always some points in different exercises where body parts will disappear, but for the most part,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. All
Yeah.
right.
All righty. So
Enough out of
anyway,
me.
grab all your goodies. We're going to sit on the floor or on a chair or a low cushion and start just with a little bit of something for the breath and then for the feet. So we'll sit up nice and tall. And as I said, you're going to want to have your flex band. I'm going to sit cross-legged when I do my breath work, simply because that's a comfortable position for me. And it allows me to feel the bottom of the pelvis, the sitting bones, and to relax my hips. So that's really what you want to accomplish as well, however you need to sit. And again, it might be in a low stool, a chair, or a pillow, it might be legs out in front. When you're settled, um, as you start to stack your spine, make sure that you're aware of your posture in a three-dimensional way. So from all perspectives, that means inside and out. We feel the front or inner surface of the spine, the back or outer surface of the spine, the right and the left body halves, and then, of course, the base of the pelvis and the crown of the head. When you breathe in through the nose, feel like the breath can not only drop directly down into the base of the pelvis, but it can expand outward through the boundaries of your torso. And then when you exhale, the boundaries of the torso soften, the breath lifts through your length, supporting the base of your heart and the crown of your head, among other things. So try that a couple of times. Eyes can be open or closed. Inhale without strain, just feel the breath filling you. And then exhale, also without strain, feel the emptying. And because we're not lying on the mat, as you continue this process, feel a little bit of give in the muscles that surround the spine. So on either side of the spine, those long muscles, as well as the broader muscles across the back, up and down through the low back area. If you're stacked precisely upward, you shouldn't need a lot of strength to hold you here. It's a balance game. Have two more rounds of breath, please. Inhales moving downward, exhales moving upward. And so the magic of this is we can engage and train core without moving into a stressful position. Of course, we'll do the other thing as well, but that's later. Then nod your head yes. No strain in the neck. Turn your head no. Roll your shoulders a couple of times in each direction. Feel a sort of juicy quality, not only in the shoulders, but in the shoulder blades, the collarbones, and the area in front of and in back of your heart. And then we'll take just a little twist from the bottom of the spine that goes up to the center of the chest. All of this is quite informal. We're not holding, we're not pushing to maximum. We let that go and take a little twist to the other direction. And let that go. And get your feet out from under you if they're tucked underneath. Okay. So here we're going to take our flex band and I'm going to scooch so you can see my feet. Don't use the strongest or tightest flex band you have in your arsenal. Use something that's light to medium. Now, we are going to be working with the feet together or both feet at the same time. So we're going to start just by looping the flex band under the soles of the feet. And please keep the neutral posture and breath support that we focused on. So you stretch your legs or slowly slide them out. And we're going to start with outward circles of both feet. So it means the feet are moving in the opposite direction to each other, just outward and pointing and parallel. Flex, go out, point, and parallel. We're going to do slowly about 10 of these guys. And if you find you need to adjust the flex band, you can do that. Make sure that we're not initiating the twist from a torque or torsion in the knee. Right? We're turning the toes out away from each other from the hips. We're pointing all the way into the ends of our feet. I'm going to do 2 more. I think that's approximately 10. And of course, we'll go in the other direction as well. So from a flexed parallel position, point the toes away, roll outward, flex again, and bring the legs to parallel. It's just a reversal of the opening direction. And so you reverse from wherever you started. Especially if you have big feet, you'll probably have to keep readjusting the band. No big deal. It's only 10 repetitions. This is also a good opportunity to talk about shoulder stability. So use your biceps, but don't use your neck muscles, please. Keep the chest open in front, and then the space behind the heart between the shoulder blades, keep that open as well. I'm going to do 2 more here. And then pause. Now we're going to work the feet individually. Yeah. And I'm going to take my right foot out of the band. Take both ends of the band, which is still under my left foot, and swing it over into my right hand. And then I'm going to push my right foot into the band. Right. So both thicknesses of the band or layers of the band are under my right foot, and my left foot is harnessed in the loop of it. I'm going to be moving that left foot. So the one that's surrounded by the flex band, we're going to point until we've got that complete plantar flexion through the toes and through the foot. And then we'll inhale and go the other way. We do 10 of these from the ankle down through the arch, down through the ball of the foot and the tips of the toes, and back up. Parallel. 10 of these guys. And you will feel this in your calf, but ideally you're not going to feel it in your hip or in your low back. Using your arm muscles instead of your spinal muscles. I'm going to do 2 more here. And then we reverse the whole thing. So we loop the band around the other foot. In my case, it's my right one. And then put both ends of the band in the other hand and both thicknesses of the band underneath the opposite foot. And that foot stays still. So now we flex and point through the foot that's in the band 10 times. There's no particular breathing pattern for this, but it is very important that you maintain that same flow of breath up and down. You keep going through 10. I'm going to let someone in the room. There we go. I imagine we're most of the way through. Continue through a couple more repetitions. And then take your foot out of the band and put your band off to the side. You can lean back a little bit. We're going to circle the feet both in the same direction. I'm going to start clockwise. After about a half dozen circles in this one direction, go the other way, moving through the ankles, midfoot, the toes. And then we do a brief thing lying on our backs. So shake out your feet, find your ball. We're going to lie down on our backs and put the ball between the inner thighs. Okay. I'm trying to watch my screen, and I've got my phone as well. So if anybody's having trouble getting into the room, let me know and I'll fiddle with it some more. We're lying on our backs. And we've got a neutral posture. We're going to briefly revisit the breath. When you inhale and exhale as you're lying on the ground, be sure that the back of your torso doesn't get tense against the floor that you're lying on. Yeah. So we let the muscles of the back sort of spread and breathe into the supportive surface of the mat and go very gently with this. Not always comfortable for everyone. Don't push the shoulders or ribs into any position or the pelvis.
I'm gonna do it in the floor. This isn't gonna be bad. Turn the sound down.
We're going to inhale through the nose and then add a light squeeze through the inner thighs as we exhale through the mouth. Do that again. Inhale through the nose, soften the squeeze through inner thighs, and exhale through the mouth as you squeeze lightly. You should feel a growing awareness of the section of your body between your pelvis and your ribs, deep under the surface, wrapping around the midsection muscularly, and providing length with that support. Squeeze one more time. And then inhale, release the squeeze. Now try this out with me. Support your head with one hand and sneak the ball under the back of the neck and the head. Your gaze is still roughly toward the ceiling, right? So you're not tipped to look at your knees. Ideally, the vertebra at the top of your rib cage, at the base of your neck, is supported on that sort of bottom edge of the ball. Place your fingertips on your throat. And on your inhale breath, imagine that you're about to yawn or swallow. Inhale, and then exhale. Do that a couple of times. You might notice you get a response in pelvic floor in your Kegel at the same time. That's a good thing. You might also notice that it gives you a connection into your upper back. We're not going to stay here forever. We're about to get up. Now you can support the back of your head with your hands, or you can leave your arms down by your sides. But I'd like you to breathe here with the aim of softening the suspended area right between your shoulder blades in back of your heart. Inhale, put breath lengthwise down through that space. And exhale, put release upwards through the line of the spine into the base of the neck. We do 2 more rounds of this breath, inhaling downwards, exhaling upwards, remembering to allow an opening side to side through the hips and across the chest and shoulder tops. We're going to very gently take our head down off of this ball, put the ball between the knees, and finish with 3 hip rolls. Feet on the ground. You should feel a greater opening at the base of the neck and between the shoulder blades. Place your palms upward, arms along your sides, and then inhale Feel the feet into the ground. On your next breath out, begin to move into a hip roll, imprinting first, and then starting the extension of the hips as the tailbone lifts. Each vertebra comes up one at a time in sequence. Get to the top and inhale. Notice how this is like the head nod that we had supported on the ball. And then as you exhale and roll down, soften through it, freeing up not only the upper ribs, the head and the spine, but the arms and the shoulders. We're going to spend a lot of time, please do 2 more, on our feet and legs today. But we want to make sure that we've attended to the posture and the comfort of our upper body before we start in standing. Moving into or through your final hip roll. And then making your way to standing. I always suggest dropping the knees side to side or rolling off to one side. We're on our feet regardless, and we're going to get the mat out of the way. I will change my camera angle. And we will continue with a little bit of arm movement as we stand upright on our legs. Okay, so ball between the knees. Come a little closer to you so I can see you as well. And we get our breath here. It's like we're lying down or sitting up. We tried both things out. We're vertical again. The inhale moves downward. We have freedom or space behind the back. The exhale moves upward. We add a little squeeze, inner thighs. And we do that a couple more times before we begin to add an arm movement. And this does evolve into a leg movement as well. Now with the back of your hands facing away from you, inhale, relax the wrists and fingertips and slide your arms up, no higher than shoulder height. Then flex through the wrists, palms facing away as you exhale and lower the arms down.
I can't find my screen.
Inhale,
Where do you think it is?
drag the back of your
Because
hands
there's the
up.
private and the not private, and I don't know how to get between the two of them.
And exhale, pull your hands down.
Well, since she's not
Cynthia,
on
would
there.
you go ahead and mute, please?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out my deal. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I can't see you. I can't see my screen to mute it. My screen's blank, so I was just asking someone to help me.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. No,
I might have to get out of the room and come back or something.
I get you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll watch for you. Anyway, do one more of these with just the arms, floating the arms up, nice and easy across the back of the shoulders, base of the neck. And then we add the legs. As you inhale and lift the arms, bend the knees, hips go back, chest goes forward. As you exhale, straighten the legs, open the chest, widening across the breastbone as the arms drop down. Inhale. So we're doing quite a few of these because we're, building stepwise. Keep going here, breathing in and breathing out with the motion of the arms and the legs, and feel the whole system of the body organized around the breath. I'd like you to do 2 more, please. Last one. And then pause. You might want to put a hand or hands on your balance bar or counter, whatever you're using. And we're going to prepare to move into our 4-step releve. All right, so still with the ball. We'll inhale, bend the knees, and you'll feel that deep squat. Arms are relaxed. On your exhale, lift your heels up. Inhale, stretch through your legs. And exhale, lower down. Keep going. Inhale, bend into your knees. With the same rhythmic quality, inhale, lift your heels, lift your chest. Exhale, stretch your legs. And inhale, lower. Or I've got it backwards. Sorry, I'm trying to fiddle with the computer as well. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, lift your heels. Inhale, stretch your legs. Exhale, lower. And please do 2 more. Last one. Breath in. Breath out. In and out. Now keep the legs straight. Inhale with the heels fully into the ground and then begin a set of releves. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale, lift and lower. Keep that going. Exhaling up and down, inhaling up and down. Please do 4 more. End at the top and pause here. Take another breath in and exhale, squeeze the ball. And then inhale with the heels lifted, bend your knees a little bit. Exhale, stretch and straighten your legs. We go through a set of 8 here. We're vertical through the spine. Ideally, everything is balanced in its relationship to each other. And so we have minimal work through the neck, right? The area under the shoulder blades, the low back. It's just a little bit of down and up. Freeing up the spine, 1 more repetition. Listen, inhale, lower your heels once. Exhale, come all the way back up. Inhale, lower your hips. Exhale, plant your heels. Inhale, stretch your legs. Exhale, rise up, continuing through the 4 phases. Inhale, bend your knees. Keep balanced, not strained. Exhale as you lean forward, firm the abs to support the back. And then inhale, stretch. Up. Inhale, slide down, nice and light under the base of the heart. Exhale, plant, find your abs as well as your core. Inhale, stretch. Please do 2 more. Inhaling to bend the knees. Exhale, down into ground. Inhale, stretch. We do 1 more and we pause actually at the bottom of our last plie. We've inhaled and bent the knees. Now we're going to exhale, plant the heels. We do pulses downward here. Prepare with an inhale, and then 8 times we exhale and pulse downward. We're squeezing the ball. We're still using the abs and the transversus. So each time we breathe outward and a pulse, we're getting more length up through the crown, down through the seat. We're supporting neutral posture with a firmness around the waist. 3 more times, please. And we're taking the drama out of the upper back and neck. Take a breath at the bottom, inhale, and then exhale, come to standing. Put the ball off to the side, please. Okay. We're going to step our right leg back and just do a little lunge. Take your time with this lunge, breathing in. Have some softness to the elbows. And then soften the back knee. Bring the bottom of your pelvis underneath you and re-stretch the back leg. We're going to do a side bend toward the side of the front leg. You can have hand behind your head or arm reaching high. And we just bend, stretching open through the lunge side. Inhale into this open space, square the pelvis, and then exhale, curve it forward. Step back, foot forward, and do the other side. So we'll step into our new lunge, hang out there for a little bit and breathe. Because we are supporting with a little bit of weight into the arms, although honestly it should be mostly legs. You want to make sure that you're not locking into the shoulders and the spine between them, right, as a way of making foundation for that support. Bend your elbows and then stretch them. And then bend your back knee. Bring your pelvis underneath you. Re-stretch the back leg. We're moving toward our other side stretch, so you find the position where you want to hold your arm. And then exhale, stretch, open through the lunge side as you bend in the other direction. Inhale here. And then exhale, step forward. Okay, returning right away to the legs. Whoops. Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings, my friends. There we go. All right, returning to the legs. I see you. I hope you can see me. We're going to find lateral rotation. We talked a fair amount about that on Tuesday. And so if you want to go back and check out that class, you're welcome to do that, of course. And we're just going to stand for a moment and breathe. No ball, but the same kind of arrangement in terms of breath support, position and space for your posture. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you're not leaning forward like a masthead or falling back. We get right over top where the balance is unstressed. And then when you're ready to plie, we inhale and keep that unstressed balance as we bend the knees. Plie. Exhale, stretch the legs. Keep that going. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to do a thing or add to this in a way that's not exactly ballet, but allows us to move the shoulders in a way that kind of mimics what we did with our initial shoulder and plie movement in parallel. Have your arms in a rounded shape. It's en bas if you're a ballet person, or even if you're not. And when you bend the knees, press the back of your hands away, relaxing through the fingertips. When you stretch the legs, drop the hands back to where you started from. Inhale, reaching through the back of the hands and the fingers. And exhale, dropping the weight of your arms down. Let's do 3 more, please. So I know we've got quite a few plies going. Just a little breath under the inside of the shoulders. 1 more. Moving into our 4 stages, we start with the releve. So follow along. Hand can be on the countertop. On your inhale breath, lift your heels. On your exhale breath this time, we bend the knees and feel them tracking sidewards toward the center line of the foot. Inhale, plant the heels, still vertical, unstrained in the spine, and then exhale, straighten the legs. 5 more, please. Inhale, lift. Exhale, as you bend the knees, we're long and supported through the sides of the waist. Head and shoulders supported in a light way over top the ribs. Inhale, heels down, exhale, stretch. 4 more. Inhale, exhale. Ask both of your legs to hold you up. Inhale, up and down. Try to balance the amount of rotation in each hip. We got two more, and we're going to add something a little at the end of the last one. Now here we rise, we bend, and we pause. So from the bottom of the pelvis to the crown of the head, especially around the midsection, We've got lots of height and lots of support in a gentle way that doesn't clamp down on the spine, but instead relies on deeper muscles. We'll inhale and lower the heels, and exhale, lift them up 8 times. Each time you lift the heels, soften the top bridge of the shoulders, the sides of the neck. Soft in the jawline. This should be hard or challenging for your lower extremities, but your neck is not down in that mix. 2 more. Heels down, and then legs stretch. Turn in towards your left leg. Step your left leg forward, but only by, say a foot between them, right? And we're going to bend the back knee and lean forward over the front foot. Front leg is straight. Make sure that the knee is supported. You've got your quads just above the interior of the knee active here. And we're stretching behind the left hip, right? And long through the sides of the body. Square your tailbone off here. So you might even have to put your fingertips on it and go, okay, is my tailbone under the base of my skull? And then come on up and turn the other way. Keeping approximately the same spacing between the feet. We bend a little through the back knee, let it be adaptable, and then keeping the tailbone under the base of your skull, lean forward over the front legs, supporting the knee. And even in this unequal position of the legs, front to back, we have a balance in how the pelvis is relating to the spine. Take a breath and exhale, return. Come into center, and we're going to go ahead and do a couple of things for the spine in a more challenging position. So we're going to do good mornings. No weights, no fancy stuff. And maybe with a ball between the knees, right? So a couple of notes, and it's, sort of on the surface of things, we're hinging from the hips and standing up. Okay. Do not pull on your low back or the area between the shoulder blades as you do this. And do keep a neutral spine, which means a little bend in the knees is a good thing. It gives slack to the hips. A little bend in the knees is also good if you're a hyperextender, so don't do that. Keep a little bit of give in the legs, put your weight in your feet and listen. Maybe with hands to hips, maybe with hand on your support. On an exhale, squeeze the ball, free up the hips, and allow the spine to fall forward, but only to that point where you still retain the support of the deep front muscles. Inhale at that point, and exhale, stand back up using your glutes, not your neck. Take a breath and exhale, bend forward. Both legs are underneath you. We've taken some care to track the pelvis with the head. Stop short of the point where you start to feel a pull at any level of the spine, and then exhale, stand back up. Now we're going to go through 6 more of these. And as you move through this, you can kind of test your limits and start to know the difference between a stretch in the muscles of your back, right, versus a sort of nerve pull through the column of your spine. We don't want to pull or tug on, the inside stuff in your spine. We do want to allow the muscles that surround it to stretch. And we do the heavy lifting with our core and our glutes. Please do 3 more. And the last one, we'll stay in our forward bend. So 1 more full one. Last one. Now here we're going to bend and stretch our knees a little bit and keep our spine in neutral posture on the same angle. It's like a push-up that you do with your legs instead of with your arms, right? So arms can hang if you like. We'll inhale and bend the knees. Feel an increased stretch behind the hips. And then exhale and slowly stretch the legs, but not to the point of strain or coming out of balance with the pelvis or spine. Inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, support with the muscles in the deep front of you as you stretch. 6 more, total of 8. Notice your lat muscles, your shoulder blade muscles. All right, try not to overly tense any of the superficial muscles on the back. Feel a light connection between or across the inside of the shoulder blades. That doesn't shorten the spine in that segment. One more stretch of the legs. And then inhale, bend the knees, round the spine. Shift weight fully onto your heels as well as your toes. And exhale, roll up. Pause and take the ball out from between the legs. It's going to roll away from me. And put the ball or a yoga block, if you're using it, down where you can put it underneath your right foot. Yeah, mine keeps rolling. So we're going to have the ball under the right foot and just stand here for a moment. So the first thing we're going to do is activate balance in the pelvis and the shoulders, as well as the core, by exhaling and very lightly pulling the bottom of the foot down into the ball with the hamstrings, with the glutes. Lift a little. Exhale, press down without unbalancing the pelvis or straining the spine. Do this 2 more times. Feel a firming of this right side of the body with the right foot on the ball. Press down and release last time, and let the weight of the ball just rest, or weight of the foot rest on the ball. Now, listen, inhale, bend your left knee, right leg resting on the ball, but not pressing on the ball. And exhale, straighten left leg. Inhale, bend the left leg. It's your standing one. It's on the floor. I'll try to give you a little better view of it. And exhale, straighten. Commit to having your weight on this left foot and to retaining balance in the pelvis and the upper back. Go through a set of 8 repetitions. I think I got 3 more. Step the foot off the ball. Put it on the ground. Cross the other leg over into figure 4. Start in a shallow sort of figure 4 stretch until you start to feel a little bit of grace and give in the outer part of the hip muscles. And then keeping the pelvis in balance, you can explore stretch here. And finally, stand back up, shake out your leg. Okay, so we do the whole thing on the other side. You're going to want your ball. I'm just going to switch sides that I'm putting my hand on. Ball goes under the other foot. Try to get a place where you can see. And 4 times, we're going to just lightly press down into the ball from the sole of the foot. Do that on an exhale, please. Inhale, release. And exhale, press. Couple more times. Firming the support for this side of the torso, even though you're not strictly speaking bearing weight in that foot. After the last one, we retain the balance and the support, and then inhale, bend the leg, the one that you're standing on, the foot that's on the ground. Exhale and stretch. Inhale and bend. Retain a sense of your center line all the way down between the hips, and exhale, stretch. relaxing in the hips. So we allow movement in both sides, in both hips as we bend and stretch. And then even though we're weight bearing on one leg, we're still long and strong through both sides of the torso. Do 3 more, a total of 8. And then put the ball off to the side. That foot goes on the ground. And we do figure 4 with the other side. The standing leg gets to cross in the figure 4. And those stabilizers on the outer part of the hip, right, we get to stretch a little bit here. And then go ahead and come up, shake your legs out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a plank at this point, and you can choose what level of plank you want to do. We're going to go right into it and then kind of sneak up on the idea of push-ups as we also start to incorporate more consciously the legs. Yeah, so fall off to the side, although some folks might appreciate it between the inner thighs. Take a drink of water. And then pick your angle and lean a little bit into, all right, the toes as you lean forward into the wall or whatnot. Peek down and check the line of your toes. Feel the legs under the hips. And a couple of times, we're going to inhale, bend both knees. Now, the hips are going to be long and strong and extended as we extend the legs. So make sure that you're applying the glutes and opening through the muscles in the front. Do that a couple more times. Feel that you have ease in the shoulders. So that little bit of movement of the arms in the shoulder girdle is not irritating to the neck or the upper back. And then once you've straightened the legs the last time, feel those muscles inside the upper part of the knee and inhale, lift your heels up. Shoulders dropping away from the neck as the chest opens. Exhale, lower your heels. Keep the firmness of the legs, the connection to breath, and inhale, bend your elbows just a little bit. And just a little bit is not terribly descriptive, but it's going to mean different things to different people. So that's where your own awareness comes into play. We bend the elbows enough that we feel work in the arms. We feel in this forward tilt that the deep muscles in the front of your body are doing the support work for the posture of the spine. The muscles of the back are laying along the back of the torso and across the shoulders. Active, but in a very light way. Feel your feet into the ground. The balance of the front and the back of the hips with the front and back of the shoulders. And then if you're moving into push-ups, we'll inhale and exhale, press away. Kind of like what we did with the legs, yeah? Inhale, bend your elbows. And exhale, press away. The work of the core is still in keeping the posture. And we are asking the arms to work. Legs assisting with the process of holding ourselves up. Please do 2 or 3 more. You should feel it in your triceps. Maybe across the front of the chest as well. Yeah, all of that is good. But don't let it bring a pain point to the base of the neck or the spot between the shoulder blades. 1 more. And when you've pushed away, widen your stance a little bit, bend your knees and pull your hips back. Allow the underside of the shoulders and the sides of the rib cage to stretch. Nod the head yes, very gently. Don't move to the extremes, just feeling the swallowing muscles in your throat. And then turn the head side to side. Come up enough you can drop your arms down. And slow motion, shimmy your shoulders a little bit. Spine is rounded here like a cat. Inhale, and then exhale, roll up through the spine, unfurling and standing tall. Okay, so go ahead and find your dumbbells, please. And if you don't want to use dumbbells, you don't have to, of course. I'll keep checking my clock here. You can use a ball between the knees here as well if you like. I'm going to forego it because I feel pretty solid through that inner line. And we're going to have an internal, I'll come a little closer. The inside of the fist, right? Or the weights together, and a very slight internal rotation through the shoulders. So I'm going to adjust my screen here. So, a slight internal rotation of the shoulders without a collapse forward into the chest. So we've got our hands together, and on the exhale breath, we zip up our weights. And on the inhale breath, lower. So on the surface of it, it is a biceps exercise. Biceps job is to bend the elbow. Now start small, not bringing the weights above maybe the bottom of the rib cage, right, solar plexus area. And then as you move into the last half of the set, you can experiment with lifting a little higher, but not elevating the shoulders, right? So don't lift higher by shrugging. Lift higher by bending the elbows more deeply and widening across the upper back. I got 3 more to go. This too should be effortless for the spine and work for the core as well as the arms. And when you've done your last one, let your arms come by your sides and turn the inside of the palms forward. Now, keep a little bit of tone in those biceps. So don't let your elbow hyperextend and just hang into the front of the joint. That's gross, especially since we're going to be lifting our arms forward. It's unhealthy. I'll give you a better description. So on the exhale breath, lift the arms up and keep it low. Again, probably not higher than the solar plexus at first. Inhale to lower them down. We'll go for 8 to 10. And for the first half of the set, you work in a very modest way, finding chiefly the support of core and legs. As we move toward the last half of the set, you can explore range. Make sure that not only are you keeping the spine between the shoulder blades and back of you open, but that you're keeping the breastbone, the sternum open and long. 2 or 3 more. My last one. And then lower. Bring the arms parallel to the sides. All right, so shake your arms out and you can breathe here and stretch when you need to. I'm going to change my camera one more time. And we'll probably have a little bit of a forward bend in the torso. You keep it modest. We're going to use the amount of forward bend. You can use a ball here as well. That I'm just going to tilt further forward so you can see my head. That allows you to keep a neutral line through the spine without hanging from your back. Instead, I want you to rest on your abs and core. We do rows here, and we'll do, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, and then we take it into a 4-stage movement. So just look for that. We take a breath, and you might be higher, that's fine. We're going to exhale, bend the elbows and pull them back without collapsing forward into the chest through the shoulder tops. Right. Exhale. Inhale. So this is going to work our lats, especially because we're right and left-handed. Sometimes right and left lats do not like to work with the same strength or the same timing. Do 1 more of these. And then we'll go into triceps. And again, you decide the angle you want to be at. With your lats, pull the elbows back. And then from there, we do a set of 5 or 6 where we exhale, extend through the elbows using the back of the upper arms. Inhale. Now, as you do this, you will need to provide a little bit more work or use a little bit more work, do a little bit more work in the stabilizers of the shoulders. Make a distinction between shoulder stability and spinal tension. The spine between the shoulder blades, do 2 more, can still be long as you find the connection across the back through left and right shoulders. When you've extended the last time, drop your arms and straighten your legs. Good. Put the weights down, please. And then just kind of swing the arms. I like to add a little twist. Do this for a couple of minutes. Well, a couple more repetitions. Please don't do this for a couple minutes. And then let the swaying of the arms subside. Okay, standing nice and tall on your legs. Now with this one, you guys can face or come alongside your bar. It's one that we've done before in different ways. And just like the previous thing we did, please feel free not to go very deeply into this. So you'll see what I mean when we get started. Left hand on the bar. We're going to step with our outside leg, our right leg, and shoot right arm forward, left leg back. We are not extending the spine. We are pivoting over our right hip. Step right leg forward and stretch right arm, left leg out and back, and tilt only to an angle that you can support with your abs. Remember, rest your spine on your abs and don't hang your spine from your back. Now that includes your head too. So if you find you're getting a lot of head and neck tension, first assess your posture. Is there a continuous line into the crown, or are you broken at the neck? And then decide if the depth or motion that you're going into is too much. We're going to do 3 more. Here too, the leg we're balancing on, you can have a little bit of adaptability in. And when you step forward the last time, pause. Okay, you might wish to put both hands down or support your head with this other hand. We're going to inhale, bend our standing leg, and exhale, stretch it. Our final push-up with our legs. Inhale, bend. Sometimes hand to the hip is good too, or hand to the chest. Exhale, stretch. Now you're only working at an angle that you can support. All right, probably not truly horizontal, maybe more toward the plank angle. No extension in the spine, my friends. I got 2 more, 3 more, maybe a set of 8. Every time you exhale in this 2-breath pattern now, do the lifting with your core. That means your Kegel as well. Step back and stand for a moment. Swing your arms around, move your head, shift your hips and legs. And of course, we're going into the other side. All right, get your bearings. And don't be surprised if on the other side you have it's not exactly identical, right? So this time we'll have our right hand on our bar. We'll be stepping forward with the left leg. And as we square up the pelvis and the head, we exhale, reach forward and back with outside arm and inside leg. Step back onto the inside leg. So that's part of the exercise. Can you stand upright, feet underneath you? And then reach forward onto one leg, tilting the body. So of course your hand is going to move along. Your right hand is going to move along as well. Now we are exhaling as we do the step forward and tilt, just because it, for most of us, helps support the core's work in supporting the spine. 3 more. Feel your feet, reach them into the ground, connect to it. Now the last one, we stay stretched forward, yeah? We have an integration through the spine, right? A nice solid posture that we're gonna lower and lift here. That outside hand can be where you need it to be to assist that. Inhale, bend the standing leg, and exhale, stretch. We do 8 of these. Heavy lifting with the core and with the glutes and quads of this leg. Halfway through, don't tighten your neck when you breathe out. It's a habit. So like any bad habit, you can ditch it. And when you've done your last one, step back, come up to standing, and swing the arms. Let that arm swinging subside and slow down. And we're going to walk through the feet. Lost my head here. So I suggest facing your bar. So it's a non-dramatic problem here, just to lift the heels and then walk. Breathing is whatever pattern feels comfortable, so long as it's continuous. We do a couple more walks across the sides. And then lift both heels at the same time. And importantly, lower both heels at the same time. Breathe out as you do that. Finishing up here. We stand on our feet and center the pupils in the eyes. I keep moving closer to the camera. With the pupils centered in the eyes, we're going to reach the arms forward, lightly flexing the palms, right? We did this when we were, right, lowering them. You don't have to have the arms very high. We're going to inhale and place right hand to the chest, and exhale, gently smooth the chest open toward the right shoulder as we turn about 45 degrees. Inhale, so it's not 90, right? It's a little bit of a twist. Feel the spiral in the ribs. And then release. Right hand presses forward. Inhale, left hand comes back to the center of the chest. And as you breathe out and release tension from the diaphragm, you turn about 45 degrees using that gentle warm pressure of the hand to help traction open the upper ribs, the breastbone. And we breathe here a little bit. Feel the freedom in the front and the back, as well as the left and right surfaces of the spine. And then release. Inhale, lower the hands down, bend the knees, and then with hands either to the lap or by your sides, as you like, we're going to curve forward through the spine. Without hunching the shoulders up into the neck, we just gently allow an opening from the base of the skull, down through the length of the spine into the tip of the tail. Only come about halfway down. And as you support lightly with your hands, breathe in and out in a way that also brings breath into the front and sides of the body. Exhale another time, softening further through your muscles and joints. And then you take it down as far as you care to go, bending deeply into the knees and the hips. At the bottom of wherever you choose to go, nod your head yes. Feel it hanging from the bottom end of your spine, not just from your neck. And then turn the head no. Inhale. Anything else you need to do? We're going to exhale, roll ourselves up, and use the help of the hands, right? The push of the legs as we stretch and stand tall. 3 breaths in and out with the pupils centered, the eyes forward, the palms forward. And then that's it, my friends. We are done today. Thanks for hanging around for the class. I'll turn the recording off and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.